She grabbed me by the back of my hair, turned my head completely around, my body still facing forward, and punched me. She knocked me out.
She turned around and she smacked me.
Oh my God.
When their two little girls got in a fight, these two moms went to war.
She had my head in between her legs like a scissor lock, pounding on the back of my head.
That's out.
Forward, please.
Teacher's aide, Marty Hutnick, says Connie Reese put her in a headlock and punched her in the face. Connie claims she was attacked first after their daughters fought at a birthday party.
Order. All rise. Yeah, this is case number 223 on the calendar in the matter of Hutnick versus Reese. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ladies.
Ladies, quite frankly, I was appalled when I read your papers. To think that two women in front of their children would engage in this kind of conduct is absolutely unbelievable to me. Ms. Hutnick, according to your complaint, you were assaulted by the defendant in McDonald's.
Yes, I was.
She says that you assaulted her. This was all done in front of your children.
Yes, it was. Birthday party.
So you want to tell me your version of the events, please?
I had dropped my daughter off, Melissa, at a birthday party and went back to pick her up about 45 minutes later. And upon as I was walking in, I noticed this person next to me.
The defendant?
Yes, Connie Reese. She was hovering over top of my daughter, who was on the bottom of a playland. It was a playland area inside the McDonald's. And my daughter was sitting on the bottom of the slide, and she was crying. And
so there were slides and tubes. I've seen those things where the kids go in and play. They take off their shoes, and they go inside, and they play and eat at the same time.
Right, run and eat. And I walked up to the slide, and I asked Connie Reese if there was a problem, whom she was not part of the birthday party. I did not know who she was at the time. And she said, well, your daughter and her friends are up there picking on my daughter and won't let her down. And I looked at my daughter, and she was very upset. She was crying. She was hysterical. I said, Melissa, is this true? And she said, no, Mom. She said, we were all up there playing together. I accidentally stepped on the girl's toe. She said, I told her I was sorry. Mom, honest, I did. I said, well, you know, if you did, you've done the right thing. I said, come on, we'll come over here and sit down. I took her by the arm. I guided her to the table where they were cutting the cake. I said, we'll have some cake, and then we'll go home. Well, Connie Reese continued to follow me to the table, and she came up to me, and she said, is that all you're going to do? And I said, well, you know, she did say it was an accident. She said she was sorry. She'd done the right thing. I said, you know, I don't know what else you expect me to do. And with that, I guided my daughter again by the arm, went to another table to sit down. Connie Reese came up to me again, and she put her face, her nose, right up against my nose, touching my nose. Out of the corner of my eyes, I could see Melissa and three of her friends underneath the table. They were crying and screaming, and nothing was said at that time, and I thought, you know, I'm not going to fight this lady in front of these girls. So I walked away a second time. She came up to me, and she starts yelling from behind my back, and she says, you know, it's parents like you today who don't know how to raise their kids that makes these kids the way they are today. I stopped, I turned around, I said, you know, I'm sorry. I said, I don't know what your problem is. I said, this obviously is not affecting your daughter. She is up there playing. My daughter's down here crying. You know, and with that, I walked away. I had my back to her. She grabbed me by the back of my hair, turned my head completely around, my body still facing forward, and punched me. She knocked me out. When I had come to...
Punched you in the face?
She punched me in the face. When I had come to, she had dragged me 20, 25 feet across the playland. With my head, if I may show you, she had my head in between her legs like a scissor lock, pounding on the back of my head. And I said, you know, what is your problem? Get off me. I said, you know I am pregnant. And at that time, one of the ladies at the birthday party picked her up and just got her off of me. And with that, she got her coat, she grabbed her daughters, and ran out the door. And somebody had yelled, did you get her license number? Did you get her license number? I ran out and got her license number, came in, and I continued to, I called the police. They came, they issued a warrant out for her arrest. She turned herself in. They did put her on probation for a year. But in the meantime, the next day, I didn't go to the doctor's that night. The next morning, I went to get out of bed. I could not raise my head up. I went to the doctors. I did have a concussion. They did an MRI, CAT scan.
Do you have your medical bills, which is part of what you're suing for?
Yes, I do. And there's also a letter from my doctor. About a week and a half later, I did miscarry.
I'm ready to hear your version of the events.
Well, I went into McDonald's with my daughters, and I was there for about 15 minutes, and I told them to go up to the slide and play while I went to go get the food. And no, I told them to sit down there until I got the food, and I came back, and they went to go up to the slide because the food was too hot, and I told them to go on and go up the slide. And my oldest daughter, she's too tall to go in there. She wasn't playing in there. The youngest one, she went to go in there, and we heard like a blood-curdling scream. And I told my oldest daughter to go up there and see what's going on. And she went up there, and she said they wouldn't let her down the slide. They penned her in. They both had, one was on one side, one was on the other, and they wouldn't let her down. And so my daughter proceeded to go down the tubes and not go down the slide, go back around the way she came.
Okay, get to the bottom of the slide. Now that they're at the bottom of the slide.
Okay, they're at the bottom of the slide. Well, I yelled up there, and I was going, let her down, because they wouldn't still let her down. And her daughter had came down, and I said, I asked you to come down. Why didn't you come down when she was screaming that loud? And she puts her hand on like this. She was not sitting on the slide. She was standing up talking to me like this. I wasn't hemming her in. She could have got down any way she wanted to get down, just like that. And then she came in, and with her, you know, biker stuff on, she was like coming towards me like she was going to kill me. And she didn't get a chance to even hear what I had to say. I was going to tell her what was happening.
Don't tell me what you were going to tell her. Just tell me what happened.
I proceeded to tell her what was happening as she was talking to her daughter. She didn't come to talk to me first. She talked to her daughter. And I said that I tried to get your daughter to come down the slide, and she wouldn't come down the slide. And she got smart with me, and she turned around and she smacked me.
Oh,
and when
my
she
gosh.
smacked me,
Sorry.
she scratched me. She had these nails that were like real long, curly nails. When she smacked me, she smacked my face and dug into my face, and I turned around about 3 steps where there was people. Where the slide is, there's no people, so nobody can see you. You got to go like
So you're
5
saying she
feet.
assaulted you?
Right. She smacked me first.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
I didn't talk to no lawyer or nothing. I didn't have nobody.
You swore that you spoke to a lawyer from the hospital. Is this a lie?
So,
Is this a lie?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Marty Hutnick is suing Connie Reese for putting her in a headlock and punching her face. She wants her medical bills paid.
So you're saying she assaulted you?
right. She smacked me first.
And then what did you do?
I turned around, I walked up to her and I said, no wonder why mothers are the way they are. The way the kids are today is because mothers like you. And I smacked her back in the face because she smacked me. And then I proceeded to walk away, and she grabbed me by my ponytail and scratched the back of my neck. And she's the one that was dragging me. I didn't have her in no headlock or anything like that. She had me by my hair, and she was dragging me. And we were both, I told her to let go, and we both let go, and she came back right after me I told her to let go. She come right back after me. And I told her friend, when her friend came charging after me, because it was a birthday party, and she had 2 friends that were there too. And they come charging after me and smacked me against the garbage can, which made my younger daughter fall, and I sat on her head, and she was sitting down there. And
This is after the other people were taking you off her.
right.
Now,
No, they were taking the girls off of me. A boy came in like 16 years old and got all 3 of the girls off of me because she was screaming down below because she was crunched. between the garbage can.
So
There were no
these
boys
are the
there.
questions that I have for you, because I read your answer. So these are two diametrically opposed
Right.
stories about what happened.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
First of all, you swore to the truth of what's in this answer.
Right.
So it is true that you pled, in effect, guilty to criminal charges and were placed on probation, correct?
No, it's not correct. I was in the hospital for 30 days.
I haven't gotten there yet. I haven't gotten to the issue of the hospital
So
yet.
I didn't get to, I got served a warrant after I got out of the hospital because I didn't appear to be able to have my side. I went right into the hospital that day.
Miss Reese, let me see that. First, let me see the hospital record.
I don't have no papers. My attorney's out of town and I tried to get him. My attorney
Miss
is
Reese.
out of town. He couldn't give me the papers.
Miss Reese, you don't need papers from your attorney to prove to the court that you were in a hospital for a month as a result of this incident, okay?
Well,
I'm going to read you some. You have what?
I got pills to show that I was in there. I'm still taking them.
Pills don't tell me when you went to the hospital and what you were doing in the hospital for a month, because I'm going to read what you wrote. First, you say you were admitted to the hospital and stayed there for a month.
That's right.
And then you say that you spoke to your lawyer from the hospital. That's what you said here. But then you say that the reason that you didn't appear in court was because you were in the hospital and nobody told you about it, because you were served with papers while you were in the hospital. That doesn't ring true to my common sense, because if you had already spoken to a lawyer when you were in the hospital, you would have known about a summons or a warrant being issued for your arrest. So you already had a lawyer, according to you, when you were in the hospital. Is that right? That's what you swore to here.
Not in the hospital. At 2 weeks after I got out of the hospital, I was.
No, that's not what you wrote here. That's not what you.
I want to tell you, I got out of the hospital 2 weeks later, and
so
then
it's just a second. So you weren't in the hospital for a month. You were in the hospital for 2 weeks.
2 weeks, and then I was in therapy for 2 weeks.
So now, right now, you have two mistakes here in your sworn answer. You weren't in the hospital for a month. You were in the hospital for 2 weeks, and you spoke to
really
the lawyer.
30
but
days.
What?
It's still 30 days. I was in the hospital. I was in there admitted from morning till almost night every day for seizures. I'm
Miss
serious.
Reese, you were in the hospital now, according to you, for 2 weeks.
Right.
And according to you, you didn't speak to the lawyer from the hospital, even though that's what you wrote here. Because then you write,
Because I didn't have nobody. I didn't talk to no lawyer or nothing. I didn't have nobody.
you swore that you spoke to a lawyer from the hospital. Is this a lie?
Hospital.
Is this a lie?
It must have been a mistake. It's not a lie.
It was a big mistake, but it's very clear. You didn't say I spoke with a lawyer. You said I spoke with a lawyer from the hospital. Then you say, when you were released, you were arrested because you hadn't appeared in court. But that troubled me, because if you had a lawyer that you spoke to in the hospital, then you would have known that you had to appear in court. And then you write that you did go to court. I ended up with a lawyer who told me to plead no contest.
That's right.
And I had no idea what it meant, but I thought I could trust my lawyer.
Well, he wasn't a good lawyer. He ended up being barred from the association. That's why I went to a different attorney.
You know, you have a lot of stories. You have a lot of good answers for everything that I'm saying to you.
But I'm telling you,
but then you went to court, and you appeared before a judge. And the judge explained to you what your rights were, correct?
That's correct.
Told you that you had a right to a trial, correct?
Correct.
And you said that you didn't want a trial.
No, I did not say I didn't want a trial. He told me just to plead no contest.
The judge never told you to plead no contest.
No, he didn't tell me. My lawyer told me.
Try to remember what the judge said to you. The judge said to you...
He asked me if I understood everything.
And what did you say?
And I told him no.
And you told the judge no, and the judge said, "Well, that's okay. Then I'm going to take your plea anyway." That's what you're telling me a judge said?
No, he explained to me.
Okay. And he explained to you that you had the right to a trial. and that by pleading whatever, either no contest or pleading guilty, it's the same as a guilty plea, and you would be found guilty of these charges. Didn't the judge explain that to you?
Yes, he did.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
You've got more stories than Carter has pills today for what you wrote in your answer. I didn't write that. I didn't mean that. I was in a hospital for a month. I have no proof.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Marty Hutnick says Connie Reese assaulted her after their daughters got into a fight at a birthday party.
After the judge explained that to you, you pled to these charges of assault. Isn't that right?
Because that's what my lawyer told me to say.
No.
He did.
No.
I don't know nothing about the law. He's the one that told me that.
You knew enough when you were in the hospital, according to the statement, to call a lawyer. Miss Reese.
No, I didn't talk to a lawyer until 2 weeks later, until I got out of the hospital. I don't know why it says I was in the hospital and called from the hospital.
You wrote it. It's your statement. I mean, this is so you have no proof to show me today that you were in the hospital, is that right?
I have no proof. I have proof that Olivia was in the hospital, but I don't have no proof that I was in the hospital. But
Olivia was in the hospital for what? That's your daughter.
Because I sat on her neck and put her neck into her all the way down, crunched her arms.
That doesn't tell me about you sat on her neck, but that doesn't tell me about what happened between the two of you. You pled guilty right now. There is a guilty plea. That is guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You have been found guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of assaulting the plaintiff by your own admission. And until that is overturned, until you go back into court, if you plan to, and I don't even know if you can because you were placed on probation, is that right?
I'm off of it, yeah.
You were placed on probation, is that correct?
That's correct.
For how long?
For 12 months.
And did you serve your probation?
Yes, I did.
Then there is no way that you can go back and have your plea expunged. So in 12 months, you didn't go back to court and ask to vacate your plea, is that right?
Yes, I did.
You did?
Yes.
And what did the judge say to you when you went back to court?
He told me to go to civil court.
So the judge refused to allow you to take back your plea, is that right? The judge refused to allow you...
I wasn't there. My lawyer went there by himself.
Miss Reese, you cannot go back to court and ask to vacate your plea unless you're there. And in that way, you have to explain to the judge that you didn't understand what was going on, you were given bad advice, all those other things. You're coming to me today, and I'll tell you what the posture is of your side of this story. Okay. You pled guilty beyond a reasonable doubt to assault. You were sentenced, and in fact, you fulfilled your sentence because you served 12 months on probation.
My new lawyer is trying to get me off of all that, to remove it.
Your lawyer may try to get you all off. Right now, that is the posture in which you stand here today. Guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of this assault by your own admission. So I have no intention of entertaining your countersuit. All I can do is tell you this. Ms. Hutnick, your lawsuit is requesting your medical bills and a certain amount for pain and suffering in the amount of $1,750. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right.
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
When I came out here before, I said to you both that I am absolutely appalled at this, and I understand. I mean, I've had children myself, so I know what happens sometimes when kids get caught up in these things at playlands, etc. They should never escalate to a physical fight in front of children. That's outrageous.
I went right to the police station right after it happened.
Miss Reese, aren't you hearing what I'm saying to you?
Yes.
You pled guilty beyond a reasonable doubt.
I wasn't in the right state of mind.
Well, I don't know whether you were in the right state of mind today, but right now,
today I am.
Right now, you pled guilty beyond a reasonable doubt before a judge who explained all of your rights to you. You've got more stories than Carter has pills today for what you wrote in your answer. I didn't write that. I didn't mean that. I was in a hospital for a month. I have no proof. I was in the hospital for 2 weeks. I did talk to a lawyer in the hospital. I didn't talk to a lawyer in the hospital. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,750. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
She tried to sue me for $10,000 for psychiatric treatment, which she said she received after, which she probably did, but she needed it before she met me.
I looked at my car and then I saw Lily on the driver's seat. I ran after her, but she took off at high speed.
He says she stole his car for no reason. She says she had a reason.
She was crying, saying that he was going up her skirt.
Did you put your hands on her?
No, I did not.
Everything he told me was a lie.
Good, so you stole his car.
I just wanted to go home.
Don't lie to me.
Realizing it, Lily claims her friend was being attacked and used his car to get away.
Order, all rise. Quiet in the courtroom, please, all rise.
Mr. Mohammed, you are suing the defendant. Would you stand up straight, please, as a court? For $750 because you say she stole your car and vandalized it. Is that right?
That's right.
You and the defendant went to a club together, correct? Dance club. You were with a male friend, and she had 2 other female friends with her. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am. It was a Mexican nightclub. So, that's what
I don't see how that's particularly relevant, madam. Whether it was a Mexican nightclub or what kind of a nightclub
What would he
it was.
be doing at a Mexican nightclub? You know?
We're talking about his car, not about what kind of club it was.
Okay.
Just be quiet and pay attention. So you're inside the club and you're dancing, and I assume doing what you do at a club, and it came time for you to leave. According to your complaint, you got into your car. You were in the passenger seat, front passenger seat. Is that right?
Yes.
Your male friend and your 2 female friends were in the back seat.
Yes, that's correct.
Now, you acknowledge that you took his car.
I didn't take it. The police report doesn't say I took it, my friend took it.
That's what you say. You say your friend took the car and you left it at your brother's house. We'll get to that in a moment. Now, according to your complaint, sir, you got out of the car.
Yes.
Tell me why.
When I was leaving the club, there was a girl, excuse me, there was a girl that I spoke to earlier at the club. She flagged me down to talk to me. I parked my car, left the car running, went around the car to talk to the girl.
How far away from the car were you at that point?
2 feet. I was right next to my car. I was talking to her. My friend was in the car, so I felt safe since he was on the back seat. He got out of the car to join the conversation.
So he left the girls in the car too, and the 2 of you guys went and talked to this other girl.
We were standing right next to the car talking to the girls, correct?
Was there one girl or more than one girl that you were talking to?
One girl.
So the 2 of you guys were talking to one girl.
I was talking, he was listening.
Okay. And then what happened?
And then as sudden, I saw my car moving, like backing up. I looked at my car and then I saw Lily on the driver's seat. I tried to run after her to stop her, like telling her to stop. And the security guards in the club, they also ran after her, but she took off at high speed. I ran to a payphone in the parking lot, and I called 911. I reported the car stolen. The police responded within minutes. They tried to screen the whole area around like the club. They couldn't find the car.
Now, you ultimately, according to your complaints, had to take a taxi cab home for $100.
Actually, 115, and that was about 3 hours later because I had to walk for about 3 or 4 miles to get to the nearest payphone at 3 o'clock in the morning. And I called the cab and I went
And then
home.
you got the car back. Ultimately, they found the car.
Correct. Actually, she took the keys to the police department and she told them where the car is.
Okay. How much later?
I would say about at least 16, 17 hours later, I was able to locate my car.
Now, describe the car when you got it back, sir.
The car was very dirty. There was vomiting on the door, on the inside, on the interior and the exterior, on the carpet, on the leather. There was so much trash, like fast food trash from Jack in the Box. The property inside the car was badly vandalized.
What property?
I had a radar detector.
You had what?
A radar detector.
Radar detector.
That I paid $380 for it. This is the mounting bracket, and this is the wire connection, and that's all what's left from that device. My Ray-Ban sunglasses were flattened. Somebody has been sitting on them, so they're not usable. And as you can see, that the whole frame is twisted.
What's in the bag?
In the bag, actually, this is my belongings were left like this. If you look at them, some of them are business documents, some of them are checkbooks that have been taken out of their cover. My credit cards were like all
Well, were
over
these
the
in a
place.
suitcase or an attaché case or just in the glove compartment?
I
They
had
were
them.
just on the
I had
floor.
them. I had them like
In the
this in the
bag.
trunk. I had them like this in bags like these in the trunk. And then when I found the car, everything was trash and the bags were empty and the credit cards were all over. Until this point, I don't know if there is any of the credit cards missing or the IDs that I have because it's just a big mess for me to go through it in such a short period of time.
All right.
If you want me to itemize the parts that were damaged or missing.
In a minute.
Okay.
Now let's hear your story. Look at me,
Okay.
because I read your answer.
Okay. He picked us up and we went out. There was no intention, like, you know, we didn't go out as a date. We went as friends.
He called you or you called him?
He paged me, and I called him back.
So you
And
called him?
Yeah, and he asked me, what are you going to do tonight? I said, I'm going to go out. And then he says, well, why? Because we were going to go out before, but I was like, I didn't want to go out with him. And
So
then
you
so
went
we
out.
went, he came and he picked us up.
You and two friends?
Me and my friend here, my other friend, she moved already. They picked us up. They weren't even dressed to go to a club at all. I mean, he was wearing like jeans and some shoes with no socks and like almost a t-shirt. It was like a t-shirt. And we went out, he didn't do anything. All he did was sit down the whole night. We were on our
Miss
own.
Nava,
Yes.
he may not have been dressed to go out to a club. I think you are not in the position to even refer to that, since in my judgment, you are not dressed appropriately for court.
Well,
Do you understand?
I'm coming from work.
I don't care whether you're coming from work. Did
I'm
you ever
coming
hear
from work.
Listen to me, Miss Nava.
You know-
Did you ever hear the word sweater?
I don't have a
All
sweater.
right.
It's hot
Come on.
outside.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
The way he was dressed was awful. Awful. No class at all. To drive a nice car like he does, he has no class to dress.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Nikki Mohammed and Lily Nava met at a club. Nikki says Lily stole his car and trashed it. Lily says her friend was being attacked and needed the car to get away.
And then what happened?
Him and his friends were out somewhere, and me and my friends were just our way. So it was time to leave, and we were leaving. Okay, I had went inside to go to the restroom. My friend was in the car, and my other friend was in the car. When I come back, my friend here that's sitting down, she was kind of drunk, and she was crying, saying that he was going up her skirt. Because she was out the sunroof. They were parked, and she was standing out the sunroof. That he was going up her skirt. And I was like, why are you doing that? And then he started yelling at her. I was like, why are you yelling at her? And he was like, hold on. And that's when we reversed, and he parked. So after that, my friend Sandra, she didn't drink at all. She was mad because of what he was doing to her. And she's here to explain it to you.
This one, the one who was drunk? The one who you just told me was drunk. She's going to explain it to me? This I got to hear. Right here.
Order.
Well, I was just like on the sunroof. I was outside saying bye to my friends.
You were on the sunroof?
Yes.
You
I was
mean you were
saying-
sticking your head out of the sunroof?
Yeah, but the car was parked.
Oh.
And I was just saying bye to my friends because we have friends there. And all of a sudden, the guy, I don't know who it was. I just saw a guy with a beard. He was going up my dress. He lifted my dress up.
So you didn't know who it was?
No, I just saw a guy, because I saw his face and I just saw like a beard on his face.
Yeah, go ahead.
And that's it. And that's all it. And I got down and I sat down and I was crying because nobody has ever done that to me. And I don't like that. So.
You shouldn't drink to the point where you don't remember what's happening to you, madam.
No, I remember what happened to me. I know what he did.
She wasn't passed out.
Did you put your hands on her?
Your Honor, they were all wearing pants. None was wearing dress. So
I
that's-
was
She
wearing a
was
dress.
wearing a dress.
I was wearing a dress.
And to answer your question, no, I did not.
Well, you were in the sun. Listen to me
Yes.
carefully. See, because I'm reading your answer here. Common sense suggests to me that the story that you're telling me is a lot of baloney. Let me tell you why. What I'm hearing is that he got out of the car to talk to another girl, which ticked you off.
No.
Just
No.
pay careful attention, because she's sitting in the back seat of the car. He was driving the car. How do you get him?
The car
putting-
was stopped.
We were
The
parked
car
in
was
front of the
parked.
club.
Doesn't make any difference.
Yeah, it
Parking
makes
The
a
car
is-
was
difference.
parked.
It does make a difference.
So,
even
hey,
dying.
listen carefully, ladies. So what you're telling me is, let me suggest this scenario, if it helps you. He got out of the driver's seat. He came back in the passenger seat where you were, because you were in the front passenger seat. That's what you just
She
told
was
me.
in the middle. The sunroof,
I was in the back.
The sunroof is right
I
in the
was in the
middle of the
middle.
car. And she got up, and then he got back in the car.
See,
I
I
guess
was
when I
just
was
up.
gone.
I just got up. I was waving bye
In
to
the
my
middle,
friends.
it's in the middle. The sunroof is in the middle of the car.
Let me ask you this question, Miss Nava. Nava?
Nava.
You had two friends with you. One's drunk, right? And you just came back from the bathroom. And you're at a club where there are all kinds of security guards, right? Why didn't you take your drunk friend and your other friend and get out of the car and go into the club and say, we're having some problems with the people who brought us?
Because he was yelling at us, telling us to get in the car. He was like, get in the car, get in the car. I'm like, calm down, what's your problem? He's like, get in the car, we're gonna leave already.
So what you're telling me is, listen to me, so what you're telling me is instead of, you were frightened of him. So instead
I'm not
of,
frightened of him.
so why did you get into the car?
I wasn't frightened, she was frightened. I just wanted to go home, that's all.
So why didn't you go? Who do you live with?
My dad and my brother.
So why didn't you go into the club and call your dad and call your brother? Let me tell you what you said here in your
Because-
answer. Quiet! Let me tell you why. I read your answer and it all doesn't sound very kosher to me. You know what kosher means? They don't serve kosher food in a Mexican club. All right. You say, Sandra will appear with me in court.
She left already.
Just a second. So she's not here. Sandra,
Yeah.
the one who you blamed for actually driving
I
the
didn't
car
blame
away.
her. She was driving.
No, that's what you say. I just rode
But the
along with
police
Sandra.
told-
Hey,
We didn't
The police
blame her.
report
She said
says
it.
are you?
We didn't blame
Try
her.
not to talk over me. Listen, madam, you don't know what was happening. You were drunk and probably vomited all over the car.
No.
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 All right?
That's
Wrong.
not even true.
So, listen to me. Try to listen, ladies. You say that you did this because you were afraid for your own safety and your friend's safety, and that's why you took the car.
I didn't do anything. My friend drove the car. I didn't drive nothing. She got in the car and we left. She said it.
See, we were just in the car and she just took off.
The police called at my parents' house, this is what you wrote, and I told them exactly where they could find the car, and they picked up the keys from me with no problem or questions, and they recovered the car.
Because they asked for me at my house. And they were over my house. We came back in the morning to my dad's house. And the police called
You
me.
came back in the morning?
Yeah.
Well, where were you all night?
At our
At
brothers.
my brother's house.
Why?
Why? Because that was the nearest place we could get there. We just got there and we stood there. I didn't want to go home with the stolen car to my dad, so I went to my brother's.
Yes. I love it when a game plan comes together.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
She goes in, she could drink all she wants. That's how I feel.
I wasn't driving, so it's all right.
Oh, please. They tell me Costa Rica is a very good place to live in retirement.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Nikki Mohammed is suing acquaintance Lily Nava for taking his Lexus and vandalizing it. Lily says she only borrowed the car and did no damage.
Let me see your damages, sir. You have...
I have $115 for taxi.
Okay.
I had $46.90.
Just a second, Bert. Turn on the buttons, because, you know, Mother doesn't know how to do buttons.
That's all good.
Mother knows how to do truth, but not buttons. Go.
$115 for a taxi cab.
You're a big tipper. Yeah, go ahead.
No, actually, it's about 35 miles.
It was
distance.
$100 here that you wrote here in the complaint, sir. When you put it on the back, you said $115. So I assumed that it was $100. You gave him a $15 tip. Don't lie to me. You want me to show you? You want me to show you your complaint?
Actually, it was miswritten. But anyway, it's $115 for taxi cab. It's $46.90 for rental car. It's $35 for the key emblem.
When did you rent a car?
The next day. At
Why?
9:30, because I had no car. I had to go about my business.
Why don't you tell your girlfriend to take you?
Madam. Madam.
When I received the keys back,
Ay, ay, ay. This is our future. Go ahead. This is our future.
when I received,
Come on, come.
when I received
What
the
else?
keys, when I received the keys back, they were missing this emblem, $35 worth of emblem. The Whistler ES80 detector, that's worth $380. Ray-Ban glasses that are flattened for $125.
Get the Ray-Ban glasses.
165.
165?
165 for detailing.
For the what?
Detailing.
What's detailing?
Detailing the car, to clean the car, to clean
To
the,
clean it.
the
Oh, to
vomit.
clean it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
And
want to clean out the car.
$16 for jumper cables that were missing from the trunk.
Jumper case.
I don't think that they took your jumper cable, sir. Hey, Bert, are
We
these
didn't
nice
take
Ray-Bans?
anything from his car. We left everything there.
Quiet. You trashed his car. There isn't a question in my mind that you and your friends trashed his car.
He could have put it all together by now. Look at that bag. It's been like 6 months now. Took
Mr. Mohammed, I want to tell you something. Bird, you like this?
Yeah.
It was
Still has it in the
yesterday.
bag.
She may buy them.
125 for the Ray-Bans?
Yeah. 125
Yes.
for the Ray-Bans. What else?
That's it. That's
How much
the
we got?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
I got
7 items.
682.90.
$682.90.
No. That is not correct.
That's what it's got.
380.
Bird never makes a mistake with the calculator,
Well,
sir.
$115.
I'm not giving you
Okay.
credit for the emblem, sir,
Well,
on your keys. Go
46.
ahead. What else?
There are 7
What?
items. If you add them up right,
These are the items, Bird. $165 for detailing, $125 for the Ray-Bans, $380 for the radar detector, $47 for the rental car, and $115 for a taxi cab.
$832?
Okay. Now, Mr. Mohammed, you have to exercise good judgment, sir.
Yeah, you're too
You are-
old for this.
How old are you?
I'm 18. He's 30, what, 5?
Madam, nobody dragged you in the car. Nobody told you that you had to go
He
with
didn't
him.
have to lie
Nobody
about
said.
his age.
Nobody
He
said.
lied about everything.
He lied
his
about his
name,
age.
about his age, where he lived, everything. Everything he told me was a lie.
Good. So you stole his car. Stupid.
We didn't steal
What?
it, though.
Just a second. Let me explain something to you. This is dangerous business. Dangerous business. You acted like an idiot that night. You got one friend who's drunk. I don't know where the other one is. I don't know whether she had been drinking or not.
She wasn't
You're
drinking.
It's
She
all
doesn't-
right, though.
She doesn't drink. She's old enough to drink. The other girl's not old enough to drink. She's old enough, she could drink all she wants. That's how I
I
feel.
wasn't driving, so it's all right.
Oh, please. Costa Rica. They tell me Costa Rica is a very good place to live in retirement.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Mr. Mohammed, be smart, right? Don't fool around with babies. These are babies. They're not fully cooked yet. The only thing that they are is stupid because they shouldn't have been in your car. And they certainly, if they felt that they were threatened, which I doubt. See, because if I really felt that they were threatened by you or your friend, I would have some compassion for them. But it seems to me, if you feel threatened in a situation and you are in a place where there is all kinds of security, you take
There's not all
yourself,
kinds,
But they
two
don't even
securities.
do nothing.
you
There's
take
two
yourself
securities. That
inside
ain't
to a
all
phone
kinds.
booth where there are a lot of people, and you make a phone call to your father, your brother, whatever
He
else.
said it himself, the phone's not till 3 blocks away.
that's not true. They're in the parking lot.
Didn't you just say that?
No. Yeah.
And you're lying.
No,
Again.
it's right there in the police
Always
report.
lying. Always.
There is a phone in the club.
But he said he had to
There
walk.
is a phone.
He said he had to walk to the
He
phone.
said
He could have gone to the phone in the club too.
Madam, he said he chased your car.
Where? To the end of the parking lot?
God, get her out of here. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $832.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Out the back door to your right.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy,
The way he was dressed, just awful. Awful, no class at all. To drive a nice car like he does, he has no class or dress. And right now, maybe, but when he went out with us, no way. She was drunk. You know, I knew what was going on.
But see, that's all right. I'm old enough.
This is a joke, you know? This is a joke. He's a 30-year-old man. He's kind of grown.
You agreed to let her sit on the hood of your car. And you sat there.
Yeah, I did.
2 models sat on his car that day, but only Monique's side got dented.
You look at these 2 women, and she's a little heftier. And you tell her it's okay to sit on the hood of your car. Why should she pay for it? You're a fool to have said yes. And she sat on it.
Yes, that's true.
So why don't you tell me how that happened?
Okay, it all took place at the Velocity Car Show, which is held, I believe, in the area of Redondo Beach. The defendant had asked me earlier that day that she wanted to do a couple photo shots on my car.
What kind of car do you have?
I have a 97 Volkswagen GTI.
Volkswagen. Is that a special kind of car?
What's in that car in particular is there's only 500 United States that were brought over from Germany.
So you were showing the car at this automobile show?
Right. I invested at least $5,000 prior to that date into that car.
What do you mean you invested?
As far as money for rims and exhaust systems to modify the car.
So you have this very special car. You're showing it at an auto show. And what were you doing there?
I was asked to go there and do some modeling.
Who asked you?
The president from the actual car club called Borsic.
And how did you 2 get together?
Well, I had a friendly relationship with her prior to this, and the day of the show, she approached me when she arrived and asking me if she could use my car to pose for a photographer that was coming for her own personal use. And I asked her, what kind of posing are you going to do? And she said, well, I have this pose that I sit on top of the hood, and I
That's not true.
Shh, just a second, I'm going to get to you. You have this, she said to you.
There's a pose where she gets on top of the hood, and she takes a picture, and it's a real nice shot. And I said, well, have you ever done this before? And she said, yes, I did. I've done it before. Nothing happened. It's a great shot. So she reassured me by doing that, and I was easily convinced to letting her do that.
Okay. According to you, you agreed to let her sit on the hood of your car. And you sat there.
Well, depending on what the photographer asked us to do. But yeah, I did.
Sit on the hood of the car and took a picture.
Right, but the photographer asked him repeatedly, about 3 or 4 times, if it was okay. And he agreed to everything, as far as if we were going to actually sit on the car or model around it or whatever we were going to do.
How did you sit on the hood of the car?
They asked us to actually just sit sideways, kind of facing each other with our feet dangling down on the side of the car, and he took a few
But you were
shots
the
of
only
that.
one who sat on it?
No, there was another model.
That sat on his car? Was there another model that sat on your car?
Yes, there was. Her name is Colin. She sat the opposite side of the car, at the same position, same area, just on the opposite side of the hood.
Okay. So what happened after the pictures were taken?
I didn't notice the dent until I got home when I was just waxing down the car. And as I was waxing the hood, I noticed that there was a dent in the hood. Well, I felt that it was my responsibility to take care of that, so I called her the very next day, letting her know.
3 days later, not the next day.
Listen.
Sorry.
I hate this thing. Don't interrupt him.
Sorry.
I mean, I could be mistaken, but it was the week after the show. And what happened, I let her know that the fact that she sat in the car, the dent was put into the car. And I just let her know that I didn't feel fair that I had to pay for those damages since it was for her cause and she was the one that actually implied the dent into my hood. She was very humble and actually very generous, saying that she would pay for all damages and you know, embarrassed a bit. But I mean, it was basically a verbal agreement where we both agreed on a date.
Do you have some pictures of this car, sir? That's why I understand that this monitor is in here. You have some pictures that you want to show me?
Oh, yes, I do have some pictures that I need to show you.
That's the car. Where's the damage?
There's a damage. If you see where the light hits, it actually dims down. If I can approach it, I'll show you.
I see it now. Is that the side you were sitting on?
Yeah, it was.
Huh? Okay. All right. And you didn't notice that until a day or so later, is that right?
Yes, you're right.
How come you have such an expensive car and you didn't notice this terrible dent in the car until a day or so later, sir?
Well, actually, I noticed it the same day, but I called her a day or so later.
First of all, how much do you say it's going to cost you to fix it, sir?
Well, I have an estimate here from the dealer service area that I deal with. They appraised the damage. That's the amount that I'm suing for.
$561?
Yes.
All right. And what's your position?
Well, first of all, when we were taking the shots, he stood there and watched the whole shoot and said nothing. He was even suggesting different poses. Basically, to make a long story short, afterwards, I saw him polishing off the car. He did not approach me with any concern about damages. I actually went over there and looked at the car. There wasn't any damages. And it wasn't until actually 3 days later that he called me and told me that there were damages on there. If they had asked him if it was okay, and all of a sudden he's coming back to me 3 days later saying that I made these damages, it would be his responsibility only because the photographer had asked him over and over it was okay if we were to get on the car.
Oh, you asked him. You asked him. That was enough.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
She asked you if she could sit on the hood of your car.
Right.
You're a fool to have said yes. You're a fool.
And later today,
it's obvious to me that when you move out, you move out. You take your clothes, you take your shoes, you take your hats, and you take your doggone cars too.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Carlos Ayala says when car model Monique Howard sat on the hood of his sports car to pose for a photo, she left a dent. Monique says she's not responsible because she had Carlos's permission to sit on the car.
Mr. Ayala,
Yes.
you think that she should be responsible for all these damages
Do
to
I
your
feel
car?
that I should be
That
responsible?
she should be.
Yes, I do.
Well, you're wrong. You want to know why, sir?
Yes, I do.
If she had sat on your car without your permission, she would be totally responsible for the damage to your car.
Right.
You are supposed to be an intelligent man. If somebody asked me if they could sit on the hood of my car, and if I said sure, and if they damaged the hood of my car, whose fault would that be?
Well, considering if I make a statement,
Yeah.
there's 2 models that sat on the car. First of all, the other model did not dent the car, which
Yeah,
was
maybe she was thinner.
which was what she asked me
Just
for.
a second. Maybe she was thinner.
Yeah, actually, she was very much thinner.
Well, then, sir.
Right, but
look,
I'm not.
you use your eyes.
Right.
You look at one model who's thinner. If my 2-month-old grandchild was on the hood of my car, and if my 9-year-old grandson Casey sat on the hood of my car and I said it was okay, and if Casey damages the hood of my car, that's my fault because he's 9 years old and weighs more than a 2-month-old baby. So if you look at these 2 women and she's a little heftier, and you tell her it's okay to sit on the hood of your car because you wanted your car in some sort of a magazine, why should she pay for it?
That's an incorrect statement there. I didn't ask her to take the shot for my purpose.
Doesn't make any difference.
Second.
She asked you if she could sit on the hood of your car.
Right. Well,
You're a fool to have said yes. You're a fool.
Well, considering that I'm not a weight trainer and I'm not an expert in that field, I wouldn't be able to make a professional...
I want to tell you something. I'm not a weight trainer, and I'm not an
Exactly.
expert in that
Well,
field,
then
and
you
I
have-
wouldn't let anybody sit on my car. You think that if this guy said to me, Judge, I want to take a picture on the hood of your car.
Right.
Could I take a picture on the hood of your car? And he sat on the hood of my car, and the hood went to the pavement. that I would say, it's his fault? No, sir. It's my fault, because I was the idiot. Okay. You understand what I'm saying to you? This lady, looking exactly like she did, said, I want to sit on the hood of your brand new, expensive, rimmed car from Germany.
From Germany. American
And
made.
you said, sure. And then she sat on your car, and according to you, she dented it, and you think that that's her fault.
Not entirely.
Dismissed.
What is our excuse? Step out. Out the back door to your right, please.
And now the next case.
Party's on Jackson versus Mitchell. Step forward.
31-year-old student Adam Jackson is suing his former roommate Lorraine Mitchell because she refuses to return his 1985 El Camino.
All right, I don't think this is very complicated. Mr. Jackson, you and Miss Mitchell were friends, and for a while you lived in her house.
Yes.
You lived in her house along with other properties, an old car,
Correct.
and then you moved out of her house.
Yes.
And you left your,
Vehicle on a property.
what kind of car was it?
It's an 85 Chevy El Camino
And where on the property did you leave the car?
in her backyard.
Were there any other cars in the backyard?
No,
Just yours.
just mine.
And how long did you leave it there?
I would say from April '97 through November, and it's still there. November this year.
And you want your car back?
Yes.
And you say
And I say, Mr. Jackson, you're more than welcome to have your car back, but I want to be paid $18.50 for storage per day.
Why?
I checked with several storage companies because if he had had his automobile parked in a garage towing service, he would have paid $18.50. And on top of that...
Why did you let him leave the car there to begin with?
Why did I let him leave the car?
Yeah.
Because he didn't have any other place to take it. Judge, I called Mr. Jackson on several occasions, over and over and over, repeatedly over, asking him, please come and pick up your car. I asked him over 5 or 6 times. I have the dates written down, and he will testify to that, I'm sure.
But, Miss Mitchell, you had no agreement with him that he was going to pay you to store the car. He didn't do the right thing and get the car out of there fast enough. Why?
Well, at the time I was going to school, and because I was busy with my schoolwork, and I tried. I tried when I told her I was going to come by to pick up the car. So when I finally sold my car, I had the guy who I sold the car to go by her house to pick it up, and that's when I found out that I was going to have a hard time picking up the car.
Yeah, and when was that? When did you sell your car?
November 7th.
Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden somebody showed up at your property to look at the car? Is that what happened?
Well, first of all, a young lady called me over the phone, and she says, hello, I'm Stella. I'm going to be coming over to look at Adam's car. I'm like, okay. And then the next thing I know, at 8:30 at night, there's a gentleman knocking at my door. I mean, and it's pitch black dark where I live at. And I'm saying, who is this at my door? I'm recovering from a nervous breakdown. He knows I'm ill. Judge Judy, he hasn't even called me to give me the decency to say, Lorraine, someone is going to come over and be looking at the car.
Miss Mitchell, how old is he?
He's a child. I have no idea.
How old are you?
31.
Miss Mitchell, you said it. He's an irresponsible child.
That's right.
No question about that.
And this is what this is all about, to teach an irresponsible child about your responsibilities. You cannot go off and leave your merchandise on somebody's property for 6 months and come back and all of a sudden it's yours. You have interrupted my business, Adam. You know I have my pallet business back there. I haven't.
Don't talk to him, talk to me.
Judge, I have a pallet business there in the back where I store expensive pallets are back there. We can't put the fence back in place because once I put the fence in, he has to tear the fence down to get his car out. How many times do I have to call him? Adam, come get your car. Adam, come get your car. Adam, come get your car. I don't feel I have to call him that many times.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
You rip and run to Vegas every other weekend with these young floozies, and you don't have time enough to come over and take care of your business. That's the bottom line, am I right?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Adam Jackson says his former roommate, Lorraine Mitchell, refuses to return his 1985 El Camino. Lorraine says Adam abandoned the car and she wants him to pay a storage fee.
Now, Mr. Jackson, there is a certain equity in what she says, sir. You know, while she does not have a contract with you, a storage contract, and you cannot create a contract after the fact.
Yes,
Ms.
I'm
Mitchell.
not
Do you
sure.
Yes, that's what you're trying to do.
Okay,
You cannot create that
all
after
right.
the fact.
All right.
Because there were certain things that you could have done, like just towing his car out of there and just leaving it someplace.
That's right.
You could have done that. You
That's
didn't do
right.
that. Now, Mr. Jackson, did you sell this car?
Yes, I sold it, and then I had to give the guy his money back because Lorraine wouldn't let me come on her property to get the car.
Well, so that wasn't so long ago, sir. Is that right? Do you still have a buyer for this car?
No.
No. So what do you intend to do with the car?
Sell it once I get possession of it.
And what do you think you're going to sell it for, sir?
About $1,000.
And how much of that do you morally think you owe Miss Mitchell for having had to look at your car well beyond a reasonable period of time?
Morally, I don't think I owe her anything.
Well, let's think about why not?
Well, she didn't tell me to come by to pick up the car.
She called you 4 or 5 times, Mr. Jackson. She called you 4 or 5 times, not to say, how are you? Not to say how you're doing. She called and said nicely, when are you coming to pick up your car? And you made appointments and you never showed up, right?
Correct.
Well, so that makes you immature and irresponsible. And I'm asking you, you are now going to sell a car that's been an eyesore on her property for 6 months, what do you think you owe her for the inconvenience? You tell me.
Well, like I said, Your Honor, I don't think I owe her anything, because at the time that I stayed in her house, I helped out with her children. I helped them with their schoolwork because she was in the bed all the time.
Where's the pink slip for the car?
I don't have the pink slip, but I do have the title right here, the registration.
You do?
Yes.
Let me see it. Now, sir, you're going to tell me, Mr. Jackson, what morally you think you owe this lady from the maybe $1,000 that you're going to get for this car, the title of which I hold in my hand.
Oh, that's a tough one. I don't know, Your Honor.
Think hard, sir.
Well, she didn't file a claim with the GM.
Think hard, sir. You live in a place where you don't have a place to park your car? Is that right?
Correct.
So that she was really doing something that helped you, because if you had had to move your car within a week or so after moving out, which was what your original agreement was, right?
Well, we didn't have an original agreement.
You
to begin
said, can
with
I
when
leave
moved
my
out."
car here for a week or so when you left?
I don't remember saying that to her.
What did he say when he moved out?
Well, he didn't say anything. It's obvious to me that when you move out, you move out. You take your clothes, you take your shoes, you take your hats, and you take your doggone cars, too. Don't that go with the package?
Now, Mr. Jackson, I'm going to ask you one more time. How much do you think you ought to pay her for the inconvenience of having your jalopy in her backyard for 6 months? You better come up with a figure, sir, otherwise you stand to lose your car.
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
Give me a figure, sir.
I would pay for the fence to be replaced at her house, because she has a wooden fence around her property, and there was 2 sections of it that fell down, and I'll agree to pay for the restoration to get it fixed.
How much will that cost you, Miss Mitchell?
I don't know, Judge. I really would hate to quote a figure.
Cost you about $200–300?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Mm-hmm.
At least.
Well,
it's a half-acre piece of property. It's not a, it's not a from here to here. It's a half-acre piece of property. And the fence extends all the way down to here. And what happens the reason why it became such an inconvenience and I kept calling him is because when the fence is down, my property is insecure.
So, you're going to give him back his car?
Yes, ma'am.
Miss Mitchell.
Uh-huh.
Okay? Here you go. Would you give this dirty old title back to him, please?
Yes.
Don't spill coffee on a title, Mr. Jackson, because you should keep it someplace safe. That's responsible. And you, madam, are going to get $500 to fix your fence.
Thank you very much.
Very good. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Out the back door to your right.
I told you he was going to pay me. Didn't I tell you he was going to pay me? I told him. I said, you're going to be sorry.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
Didn't I tell you?
Yeah, but you should have been patient with me and give me enough time to get
Adam,
my car.
how much time do I have to give you? 6 months, honey, it's a long time.
Yeah, but you know my
can't go off.
situation.
I know your situation, yes. You rip and run to Vegas every other weekend with these young floozies, and you don't have time enough to come over and take care of your business. That's the bottom line, am I right?
They took our baby back. I have photographs to show you. We had her, and we were very devastated.
The heartbreak of an adoptive mother who finally had to make the ultimate sacrifice because the birth mother changed her mind.
They made me feel like I was selling her.
We had bonded with this baby. We had grown to love her.
She didn't play it 100% straight with them.
Debbie Kay and her boyfriend, Phil Francis.
Order. All rise. Quiet in the courtroom, please. All rise. Your Honor, this is case number 311 on the calendar, the matter of Toth Paul versus Kay Francis. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Mr. and Mrs. Toth Paul, I've read your complaint, and I am most sympathetic because, as an old family court judge, this is not the first time that I've seen a failed adoption. According to your papers, you and your husband wished to adopt a child, and you were put in touch with the defendants, who, for reasons which I'm sure they will tell me, were prepared to relinquish the baby that the defendant was carrying to you, and you agreed to pay certain of her expenses for the last trimester of her pregnancy. So far, is that correct?
That's correct.
Is that correct? You did, in fact, make those payments. They were $1,500 a month to cover your expenses, medical bills, rent, whatever, during the course of the last trimester. And then the baby was born, a little girl, I believe, correct?
Right.
So you want to tell me what happened?
Well, we had entered into an adoption plan, as you've said. She was born. We were present at the birth. I was present at the birth with my mother. I assisted in the birth. And
in the delivery room?
In the delivery room, yes. The next day, we came back to pick up the baby to take her home. We met with the social workers, and they agreed to sign a placement agreement, which they signed. We took the baby home, and we had her in our home for 7 weeks. We have 2 children of our own. We're very grateful that we have them. We feel very fortunate.
How old are they?
9 and 7. We bonded with the baby for 7 weeks.
Had you been trying to have a third child?
No. 5 years ago, I had uterine cancer and a hysterectomy, so I'm no longer able to have any more children. But we wanted to open our home up again to another child. He had always wanted to have more children, and this was just something we wanted to do, and which is why we chose adoption. We originally got involved in a surrogate program, but just got discouraged due to the success rate, and also because I had a lot of chemotherapy, and we didn't know the effect of the medication on my body, so we decided to adopt instead. And we, anyway, we had her for 7 weeks, and then they took her back. They took our baby back. I have photographs to show you. We bonded with her, we had her, and we were very devastated.
When did you know that there was difficulty?
We didn't know until she was born August 11th. We didn't know until mid-September.
What happened in mid-September?
We had a call from our attorney handling the adoption that apparently Debbie had sent them a letter stating that she was interested in possibly getting the baby back, but didn't say in so many words that she wanted the baby back. Basically beat around the bush. And he told us about this letter. We have never seen a copy of the letter. That was mid-September, and on September 30th, the morning of September 30th, I needed to bring her back.
How did that come about?
Well, there was a lot of talk for the tail end of the last 2 weeks of September. Phone conversations I was having between the social worker who was handling our case, phone conversations between myself and the attorney. She never really came out and told anybody she wanted the baby back. She never called me until the end of September, the 29th of September, was when I received a personal call from the birth mother stating that she wanted her back. And she said to me that she would like to meet me at a location, and she was going to call the attorney's office and let them know, make them aware of the fact that this is what was going to be happening. I was completely devastated. I was breaking down on the telephone. This wasn't, I mean, we had bonded with this baby. We had grown to love her. Our children had grown to love her. It wasn't as if she changed her mind, you know, the day that she was born. This baby was becoming attached to us. She was developing a personality. We were bonding with her.
There were some legal documents that had to be signed after the placement agreement, because that's what usually happens.
Right.
And that's what we call a surrender document. You're familiar with that?
The only papers they told me that I needed to sign if I wanted to was to waive my rights for the 90 days.
That's what I'm talking about. And you did not sign those.
Right.
Am I correct?
Is this the waiver? You're talking about the waiver?
I'm talking
Yes.
about the waiver.
Right. No, I never signed those.
But you were asked to sign the waiver.
I was asked to sign those many times.
Many times. Well, we'll get to that in a moment.
She had also agreed to sign it in the hospital.
Are you two married?
No.
No, Your Honor.
But you live together?
Right.
Yes, Your Honor.
How long have you been living together?
5 years.
Yeah.
We have a 4-year-old together.
And how many other children do you have?
We have 4, besides the baby. We have 5.
And what made you decide that you thought it was in the child's best interest, since I assumed that that was your motivation, to place this child for adoption?
Neither one of us was working at the time, Your Honor.
We were just having a really bad time, and we neither one had a job, and
We just thought it would be the best for the baby.
because we couldn't provide really well for our own children and this one, and it was just very, hard.
It was
a very
difficult
hard
decision.
decision. It wasn't something that was easy. It was heartbreaking. It was very hard.
I'm sure it was. But you decided to do it.
Right.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
2 days after the baby was born, we received a call from our attorney's office stating that they wanted $720 in lieu of an epidural so they could take their other children to Disneyland.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Heartbroken parents, Jennifer and Peter Tothpaul, are suing Debbie Kay, the birth mother of the baby they adopted. The Tothpauls say 7 weeks after they took the newborn home, Debbie and her boyfriend Phil changed their minds and demanded their child back. They're suing to recoup adoption costs.
So let's get to the reason you changed your mind and when you did.
There was just many reasons. There was many reasons because, well, one reason is because I wanted her. It was devastating for me to give her up. When your baby's born, you cry because you're happy. I cried because I was just
I cried because I had to give her
heartbroken.
away.
Right, and it was very hard. And
When, for the first time, did you make the decision that you were going to ask for her back?
It was about a month later.
When? She was born in?
August.
August? And when did you decide to ask, when in your mind did you say, I'm going to ask for her back?
I can't tell you an exact date. I mean, I was going through so much, it's just, in September. I had talked to the agency weeks before, and they never told them anything.
That's because you told them not to tell us.
I did not tell them.
No, don't talk to each other.
I had talked to the social worker.
Did you have misgivings right after the baby was born in August about whether you were going to go through with this adoption?
No.
Was it a week later? Was it 2 weeks later?
It was about, I don't know, 4 weeks later. There was a lot of things that led up to it, is that we had to go through so many things.
Like what?
Like, we sent all our kids away because we kept it a secret. And that was very, very emotional because I kept hidden. I didn't tell very many people. And just different things. It was just really hard. And they had told us things that, like, he wasn't even present for the birth. And I felt like, she wasn't as important as their own children.
That's not the reason, Debbie, that you changed your mind.
No, that's not the only reason. It was just different things. I was just unsure about what was going on. And I felt, when I talked to everybody at the agencies and the lawyers and everything, they made me feel like I was, less important, or I just felt less significant, and it wasn't as important for them to send me the papers. They made me feel like I was selling her. And that wasn't my intentions at all.
When, for the first time, were you asked to sign the waiver? In the hospital?
Yes.
And you decided not to sign the waiver in the hospital. Can you tell me why? He did.
No, there was something was said like we were going to go out a couple weeks later for lunch or something and sign this paper, this waiver.
You mean you weren't asked to sign the waiver in the hospital?
Yeah, we were.
Sure you were.
Yeah, and we declined it then.
Right. My question to you is, why did you say no, sir, in the hospital?
In case she wanted to get the baby back, because I was fully supporting her in whatever she wanted to do.
So even in the hospital, you weren't sure that you were going to go through with this adoption. Is that what you're telling me?
No, I'm not telling you that at all.
But what you just said to me suggests that that was true, because if at that moment of the child's birth you were totally committed to this adoption, then you would have signed the waiver at the time. Don't speak to him. I understand that you can have a change of heart. My point is, these people are suing for nothing else other than, at this point, $4,500, which is what they gave to you in support for the 3 months that they agreed to. I mean, they can't be compensated for their heartbreak. That doesn't necessarily make you the bad guys, because you're entitled to have a change of heart. That's what the law provides. But my question is, when was the point in time when you had this change of heart? If you were committed to the adoption without reservation, you would have signed the waiver in the hospital at the time that they took the baby home.
We couldn't. We had to do it after. We had to go to this in LA somewhere. That's what we were told.
Because he wasn't there to sign something.
He doesn't have to be there to sign. You have to be there to sign. The waiver is something you have to do.
But they told me I could not sign this in the hospital.
They asked you to do it immediately thereafter, and you put them off.
No, I was going to do it. I had told them I would. And you know that I told them I would.
You never did it. Did you go away on vacation?
I was going to go away, and I never was able to go.
But you told them you were going away on vacation.
Right.
Whether you went or not, you said you couldn't sign the papers. You'll sign them when you come home from vacation, correct?
Right.
So that's
They called me 3 days after the baby was born. They called me 3 days. I didn't want to talk about this. I didn't want to deal with it. You know, it was...
Debbie, I'm not faulting you for changing your mind, Debbie. I want you to understand that. The law builds that in. But if what you're telling me is 3 days after the baby was born, when the baby is already with the new parents, you're called and said, would you come in so we can sign the papers?
That's not what they didn't call me to say that. They just called me to tell me that he hadn't signed his part of the papers yet, and just to let me know what was going on. That was the only time I ever heard from anybody.
No, that's not true. You knew you had to sign the waiver. Come on, Debbie.
That's not what they said, but they weren't telling me to do it then.
You knew you had to sign the waiver, and you kept putting it off.
And we had 90 days to do it.
They didn't tell me I had to sign it.
I know you had 90 days to do it, sir.
Right.
I mean, are we understanding each other?
Yeah, totally. I'm not disputing anything. I'm just saying...
You had 90 days. Of course you have 90 days to do it. The idea is, if you're committed to doing it,
right,
then you do it at the earliest possible time, right? And you two folks didn't do that because you had misgivings as to whether you were absolutely positive that you wanted to do it. Is that true?
No,
I don't
not.
believe you. I don't believe that. I don't believe that, because otherwise you would have done it. And the bottom line is, you did in fact say, I'm not signing the papers, I want the baby back. I'm not faulting you for wanting your baby back. I'm faulting you for taking their payment in September.
And you know...
I'm faulting you for that.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You know what? She sent her sister to pick up the baby.
I had just started a brand new job. I couldn't just leave.
Talking about your daughter.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Jennifer and Peter Tothpaul are suing Debbie Kay, the birth mother of their adopted baby, after she demanded they return her child. The heartbroken Tothpauls are suing to recover the cost of the adoption.
You took the money in September, even though you had misgivings. That's not fair, because that also says to them, everything is going the way it should be going. We can fall in love with this baby. That's not fair. And what I'm suggesting to you is, they're not the bad guys here. You're not bad either. But you didn't play it 100% straight with them. And it's a shame.
You know, when I talked to her, and I hadn't even made up my mind then, she was very, very mean. She says, I am not a babysitter, and I'm going to call Child Protection Services.
Well, for once...
And I hadn't even said anything yet.
Sure,
and after she said, do you want to come to my house and see our home and everything, and I agreed, but that kept going through my mind. How could she be so mean? She's going to call the Child Protection Service on this baby. she's hurting the baby. And then when we did change our mind, and they made it very, very hard for us to get the baby.
You would too. If the circumstances were different, Debbie, you would too.
No, no. She dropped her off. She didn't even tell me what kind of formula she was drinking. She dropped her off in just a diaper and a T-shirt, which, you know what? I didn't even know what kind of formula she was drinking.
Why didn't you ask?
She wasn't there.
Just why didn't you ask the social worker?
The social worker wasn't there either. The social worker was on vacation. The lawyer was the one that was giving us a hard time. He wouldn't even let the father pick her up. He's the one that told us they were going to call child. They made us feel like we were evil, and it was
In
nothing.
their minds, Debbie, you were evil. First, they hear that you're unable to take care of this infant because you have too many other kids that have to be taken care of. You have no jobs. You have no way of supporting this baby. And so that two people, the two of you, who look like two able-bodied people, had to accept $4,500, $1,500 a month to pay your rent and your food and whatever other expenses you had just to keep you for the last trimester of this baby's birth. And then, after 7 weeks, you say, well, now I want her back. Were you both working? Were you both working at the time you got her back?
I had just started working. Just started working.
When you got her back. So who was going to take care of the baby?
I had a babysitter.
You know what? She sent her sister to pick up the baby.
That's right, because I just started working.
At work.
I had just started a brand new job. I couldn't just leave.
Talking about your daughter.
And we'd already agreed on this the night before. And she knew the whole situation.
She doesn't know the whole situation, Debbie. You just
no. I told her that
you're not being fair. You can't say that these folks did anything wrong.
I didn't say they were doing anything wrong.
Okay.
Can I mention something else?
Sure.
In lieu of receiving an epidural in the hospital, they wanted money in exchange for that.
But I didn't come up with that.
Please don't speak.
They wanted money in exchange for that. That didn't come from us. We wouldn't make such a suggestion. I told her I wanted her to be comfortable, and we would talk about that after the fact. 2 days after the baby was born, we received a call from our attorney's office stating that they wanted $720 in lieu of an epidural so they could take their other children to Disneyland in San Diego.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I know you're heartbroken. Fortunately for you, you can be heartbroken and look at your two kids when you go home.
Right.
You know that.
I'm very grateful for my children. I'm very fortunate.
I'm sure you know other people who have been through the adoption process and the adoptions have failed that don't have the two gifts that you do at home to go home and look at. It doesn't make it any easier. Tough lesson, but you understand how hurt they are. All right, the issue is not a difficult one, especially since I believe that you understand it is your moral responsibility to return this money. You had an agreement with the plaintiffs that they would, in fact, take care of you for 3 months of your pregnancy, and you would allow them to adopt your baby. You did not allow them to adopt your baby, and therefore, they're entitled to their money back. So judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $4,500. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
Once you have it, it's different, and then it just keeps stewing. You keep thinking about it over and over and over, day after day after day. At least I did.
The way we feel or whatever went down today is really petty to the way we would have felt every day if we didn't get our kid back.
I was devastated that morning. You have no idea how devastated I was that morning. I barely made it to that office, barely. I was hysterical in that car driving her there. It's very heartbreaking to think that you've got to go 90 days and wait till day 90 or day 89, and then all of a sudden a decision has been made, and you need to give this baby back. We had bonded with this baby, and it was very devastating. We loved her dearly.
I pet the dog and he bit me.
Did you pull his ears?
Neighbors fight over who should pay for the scars left by a dog bite.
What happened to you in the hospital?
The doctor put me some stitches.
Your face is beautiful. It's going to be gorgeous. People aren't going to look at that. They're going to look at your gorgeous...
Quiet in the courtroom, please. All rise. Be seated. Have a seat.
You pronounce your name Matar?
Matar, yes.
Miss Matar, this is your little girl?
Yes.
And according to your complaint, she was playing at a friend's house with your children.
Yes.
And that, unfortunately, she was bitten by your dog.
Yes.
This dog. And you seek reimbursement for your medical bills.
Yes, please.
There is no dispute that your dog bit her and scratched her, is that right?
Right, there's no dispute as to that, no.
Well, then why don't you tell me why you don't believe you're responsible for the child's medical bills?
First of all, Your Honor, my dog, he's really good. He always has a problem with sensitive ears. And when the children started coming over, I make sure, and I told him, the dog is fine, just don't pull his ears. Because he'll react. He reacts to adults, he reacts to us. It's a problem that he's had since he was a puppy. He's now 6 years old.
Okay, so that I found interesting in your answer. You said that the dog has had a problem with his ears since he was a puppy. Tell me what kind of problem.
It's really hard for me to tell you. I taken him to the vet, and he says, well, he just has sensitive ears. There's nothing wrong with him inside that he can see that's physical. It's just a sensitivity that he has.
Well, what has the dog done?
He hasn't done anything to anybody before. What he's done, and my daughter can probably show you, is if you grab his ears and try to extend them, he tries to move, kind of bite off your hand off his ears.
So he tries to bite off your hand to let...
because he is not comfortable with that. And that was something that I explained to the children, not only when they first started visiting, but every single time that they went to play with the dog. I said, you can play with him, you can pet him anywhere you want, just don't pull his ears. He's fine if you just, touch him down, but if you extend him, he has a problem with that.
Hi.
Hi.
Veronica, can you tell me about the day that you went and played in the house where that dog was?
First, I went to my friend Christy's house.
Is that their house? How old is Christy?
8.
8.
And how old are you?
8.
Okay, sit still, okay? So you went to play at the house, and what happened?
I pet the dog and he bit me.
Where did you pet him?
On the head.
Did you pull his ears? You sure? You just went to pet him. Had you played with the dog before? Dog never bit you before. Where were you bitten, Veronica?
Over here and that.
Right over here where that mark is? Did it hurt? Did you have to go to the doctor?
The hospital.
What happened to you in the hospital?
The doctor put me some stitches.
Do you know how many stitches you had? And how long ago did this happen? A while ago? My eyes aren't so good anymore. So I need these glasses to really get a good look at, your face, because your face is beautiful. Right? Just had that little mark on it, so let me see. Come close to me. Oh, it's gonna be gorgeous. People aren't gonna look at that, they're gonna look at your gorgeous eyes. Right? I'm telling you. Okay. Why don't you go sit down? You feel better about going to sit down? Yes? Okay. Byrd?
Sure.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to tell me?
It's obvious that it was in her house, it's her dog, and if she knows that he has a problem, keep him away from children. Don't give the responsibility for 8-year-old to know what she has to do.
And I understand what you're saying. The point, too, is that the responsibility of having a dog is almost, the words that your husband told me was, well, what kind of people are you to have a dog? Well, I'm sorry.
Miss Soria, listen to me. Things get hot when you're in the middle of a dispute. I think that sometimes animals are unpredictable. And even though an animal has not done anything in the past, you never can tell when something is going to trigger some sort of aberrant behavior, like biting a child. Your dog, while you tell me that he has not bitten anybody before, clearly had a problem with his ears. Now, according to the child was not pulling his ears straight out, which is what you say causes him to act out that way. According to this little girl, that didn't happen. But clearly, someone is responsible minimally for the medical bills that these people incurred. Can I see your medical bills? Because as between this lady and you, it was within your home that this happened. So somebody is going to be financially damaged. And I'm not talking about the little mark that's on your daughter's face. That's going to go away, hopefully.
Well,
and
I have a report from a doctor that will scar forever.
Well,
she has 2 scars on her face, one on her cheek, one under her nose.
I just want to know what the bill was so far.
We paid $2,500 cash for the plastic surgeon to do her face.
Okay.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You know he has a problem, lock him outside.
But you know, if you had
don't
a
ruin
little
little girl's
we didn't know he had a problem.
Thank you for the nice words. That shows what kind of people you are.
And later today.
I mean, talk about losers. You know, when you hang around with losers, you know what you become?
A loser.
Right.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Micheline Matar's 8-year-old daughter Veronica was bitten on the face by Maria Soria's dog Pebbles and is suing for the medical bills. Maria claims she told Veronica not to touch Pebbles on her ears, but she didn't listen.
Mrs. Matar, I'm going to come to you. You seem like an intelligent lady.
Thank you.
And I'm sure that you knew that these people had a dog in their house. And an intelligent person also knows that when little children are around a dog, something can happen. Now, I'm not saying that you are responsible, but you clearly knew that they had a dog, right?
Things can happen anywhere you go.
Thank you.
Right.
That's my point, too. When a dog bites somebody, regardless of where, when, and how, it usually becomes the owners of the dog's responsibility. It's almost a relativity here as to, okay, so by default, you know...
No, Miss Soria, you're missing the point, madam. The point is that you were, A, aware of the fact that your dog had a problem. Right? Did you ever tell that to Mrs. Matar?
No.
Well, you see, that's a responsibility that you have. Because then Mrs. Matar would have been on notice. And she would have known that what you knew about your dog, that your dog had a certain sensitivity. And then I would say, well, she assumed the risk if she let her children go to your house to play. You can't say that I'm telling an 8-year-old and therefore I've completely absolved myself of responsibility. If you told the mother, and after you told the mother, she said, dog looks perfectly fine to me, I'm going to let my children go over there, then she is, in at least in part, negligent. You would agree with that, right?
Yes, I do.
But you didn't tell her, and that was a mistake. Telling the children is not telling her. Now, they have medical bills now of $2,500. Somebody's got to pay for that. You had the knowledge about your dog. She did not. So you have to pay these medical bills, and the judgment is for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,500. That's all.
What about the scars? I'm sorry, Your Honor. What about the other charges that I have to do another surgery for her to take out all the scars on her face?
Let me tell you something. Right now, to date, your medical bills are $2,500.
Okay.
Right? If you have additional medical bills, there on notice, they may be responsible. It may be that as your daughter gets older, this little mark that's right over here is going to fade.
I spoke to a specialist, which he
You
told
may
me that it
have
will
spoken
not.
to a specialist, but I'm telling you, as your daughter gets older, she's still a little child. Her face is going to grow, her skin is going to grow, and what looks like a 1/4 of an inch scar now may be nothing more than a dot later on, and you as a responsible parent might not want to put your child through an additional surgical procedure. So right now I'm giving you your medical bills to date, which are $2,500. Now you have to know, Ms. Matar, also, if you allow your children to go next door to a neighbor to play and the neighbor has a dog, a little dog like this that looks perfectly harmless, there is always that risk. I don't think that there was anything malevolent about what the defendant did. I mean, according to what she tells me, the dog has never bitten anybody else. But you have a responsibility to tell the parents, not the children, of people that come into your house, that this dog has now bitten one child. Because the next time, if this happens to somebody else, you are responsible for punitive damages. Do you understand?
I understand.
That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Yeah, out of the back door to your right.
You know he has a problem. Lock him outside.
You know, if you had
don't ruin a little girl's
we
life.
didn't know he had a problem.
Thank you for the nice words. That shows what kind of people you are.
Well,
you did not even bother to call to ask how my daughter was.
And now the next case.
Parties on Flubacher versus Fi. Step forward, please.
20-year-old student Renata Flubacher says she bailed 19-year-old Courtney Fi's boyfriend out of jail twice and has not been paid back.
The defendant was a friend of yours, according to your complaint. She had had some trouble with her mate.
Correct.
Some domestic violence, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
You had him arrested?
Yes, I did.
And then you thought better of it.
Yes.
So you called your friend and asked her to bail him out of jail.
Yes.
And what did you say?
I was unsure of it at first. I didn't know the procedures of what the law meant and what exactly. At first, it was just that she needed to borrow the money, and then it ended up she needed a co-signer, which was a lot more because I didn't know the gentleman. And of course, what I knew of him was all negative because of what
You
had
mean the
happened.
gentleman that she lives with?
Well, her boyfriend.
Her
yes.
boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
So how much did you spend the first time to bail him out of jail?
I think it was $325 after all the court fines.
And you borrowed that money from her?
Yes.
You promised to pay her back?
Yes, I did.
And you haven't?
No, I haven't had a chance.
How long ago was this?
It was in May, I think.
Now then, he got himself arrested again.
Right. He got on probation and then was arrested for the same thing pretty much, from what my understanding is. Not on her, but on somebody else.
He sounds like a real charmer.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
She was my best friend, and we don't talk anymore.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Renata Flubacher says she bailed Courtney Fi's boyfriend out of jail twice and is suing Courtney to get the money back. Courtney feels it's her boyfriend's debt.
What was he arrested for the second time?
Assault.
On whom?
Some guy, I don't know. Some guy he fought with.
And what happened?
He had called me from jail and was crying and telling me that he respected me and that one of the main problems with Courtney and I was that he wouldn't let me see Courtney. He said that my friendship with her, that I had bad influences
This is Courtney?
on her. Yes. That I had bad influences on her. I've known her since 6th grade, and he pretty much told Courtney who she could and could not see, and he pretty much was just apologizing and saying that, you know, if I got him out again, that things would be different and that she could see me. Because when I got him out the first time, I pretty much didn't speak to Courtney again. You know, I didn't hear from her. She was at his house. I would call there. He would get upset with her, yell at her, tell her, you need to tell that girl to quit calling here.
You mean this is after
I bailed him out of jail.
After you bailed him out?
So he pretty much just begged me, and then he started saying some things about if his probation officer found out that he had violated his probation, he would go to jail for 6 years. And he was like, I'm going to go to jail, and I'm going to go to jail for something I don't deserve, and something like that. So I called Courtney, and I was like, you know, Courtney, is this true? And from what she understood, it was all true. And I was like, what do you want me to do? Do you have another way to get him out? You know, do you need the money? She was like, yeah, I need the money, and I can't live without him, and I need him to be out of jail. And
did you say that to her?
I did say that.
You couldn't live without him?
Well, I did love him very much.
Sounds like a manipulative sucker.
Yeah. Well, at first he wasn't like that, but...
So how much did it cost you the second time?
It was $325 again. And this time with a lot more writing his, because I had to co-sign also again because neither one of them know anybody who has any type of liability, and it was a lot more money this time if he didn't end up going back to court.
Did he go back to court?
No, he didn't. I ended up having to call bounty hunters on him to pick him up. He was supposed to go to court, and Courtney and him got in a really big fight within a week or something. Something blew up, and he was staying at his other girlfriend's house, and we had to call the cops, and we had to do all this stuff. And the bounty hunters came and picked him up and had to take him to court, and then he got put back in jail.
So how much did the whole exercise cost you?
It was a little over $900.
All right, Courtney, let me hear your defense to this.
Well, I believe that I owe her for bailing him out the first time, but I didn't ask her to bail him out the second time. And he's the one that asked her, so I think that she should be suing him for the rest.
Well, she did, in fact, call you after she got this jailhouse call.
Yes, and I told her if she wanted to do it, that I would like her to do it, but I wasn't asking her to do it.
You said, I'm not asking you to do it, or did you say, I love him and I can't live without him?
Yeah, I said that, but I'm not asking you to bail him out.
She did say that, too. She's like, well, I'm not asking you, I'm just... She said something like, I'm not asking you because I know you've already done this once, and I know I already owe you money, but I love him so much, and I can't live without him, you know? And I was just like, okay, so do you want me to leave him in jail, or do you want me to get him out of jail? You know, this is up to you. And I told her straight out, I was like, you owe me this money. I can't stand it. I don't like what he does to you. I don't like the way he treats you. I don't like the way he treats me as somebody who's helping him. And
did you say that to her when you spoke to her on the phone?
Yes, I did. And we went together to the bonds place, and I was like, Courtney, this is a lot of money. I was like, I've worked so hard for all this money. And
what kind of work do you do?
I'm a waitress and a full-time student. And I've been saving all my life. I was like, this is my savings, and you know, you will pay me back this money.
When did Prince Charming finally leave the picture?
About a month ago.
Under what circumstances?
I just couldn't take it anymore.
And he's going back to
and
jail.
he's actually wanted again, and I'm trying to help his aunt out because she's going to have to put up $14,000 if he doesn't turn himself in. So I'm helping her.
You mean he got somebody else to put up bail for him?
Oh yeah, his aunt
and he
bailed him
didn't
out.
show up.
And he hasn't showed up, and I'm the only one that he calls, so I'm trying to set him up.
Let me tell you what you should try to do. Change your number.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about losers.
Yeah.
You know, when you hang around with losers, you know what you become?
A loser.
Right.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I believe the plaintiff when she says she couldn't stand your boyfriend. Sounds to me as if she had good cause. He tried to come between the two of you. He's clearly abusive. He's unreliable. And yet, because of your friendship, she bailed him out of jail. Big mistake. Don't do it again. I'm sure you won't. You know, you're a hardworking gal, and if you have been diligent about saving your money, save it. You know, bailing him out is like taking the money and throwing it down the sewer. But there is no question that I believe that you assured her on both occasions that you would be responsible for this money because she was not relying on the boyfriend to pay her back. She was relying on you to pay her back. Your lawsuit seeks $800. You have to pay her. It's the right thing to do. Okay? Okay. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $800. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.